Alright, I ain't really made a video in a long time, but guess I'll make one today. Got several projects going on here. This is our 78 580C. We've had it for a couple years now anyway. It's old and wore out, but it does work pretty good for what we use it for. See, I just put a new starter on it, and power steering pump is pretty well burnt up on this thing. It's never really steered good at all since we've had it. Main thing on this pump that's on here now is the front seal in it is the front shaft seal. There's a gear and it runs off that gear off the camshaft in the motor. That front seal went bad, and it would just all the power steering fluid would just fill the motor up. So we hadn't really used it here much lately, but I went to Case here in town and got a new front seal for it, and I put the new front seal in it, and I don't know what I did wrong, but ever since that it hadn't really steered at all. I don't know how I messed it up. I took pictures and everything of how it come apart and how to put it back together, but that's the problem with this thing. And I got a brand new, let's see here, it's over here in the cab. Got a brand new power steering pump right here, fresh, still in the bag. And we're gonna put that on here in a little while. And there's another project. Well, this thing really ain't got nothing wrong with it right now, but the drive belt, this is a 74 model 610 gas Wisconsin motor, you can see there. And the problem I had with this a couple weeks ago is this drive belt right here shredded apart. It's just old and dry rotted. It's time to go. Now the problem I have with it is this right here. This is it's called a variator pulley. Excuse me there on that pronunciation. What this is a hydraulic pulley setup. It changes your gear ratio. Like on this old clutch driven machine, you don't have any hydraulic drive. The only hydraulics you have is for your bucket, and this thing's belt driven, and then it goes up into here, and behind this plate right here you have two sets of clutches on either one of these. That's how you adjust them. You take those off and there's a little adjustment behind them. But this thing right here, it leaks really bad. I've got to take it apart. There's a little bitty hydraulic cylinder inside of this right here, this housing, and it's just, you take a couple snap rings off, the whole thing comes apart. I gotta get seals for that. It's leaking so bad that it's slinging oil all over my drive belt. And here's another project. It's a 87 Chevrolet 1-ton 454 throttle body 4-speed. You can see it's got a little dump bed on it. This thing's been sitting a long time. Pretty much went out in the field, put a battery in it. I had to hotwire the fuel pump in the tank because I guess squirrels or mice or something ate up the wire somewhere. Nothing would work. But got it out of the field. Had to put a brake caliper on it. It was stuck, and hadn't even hauled any dirt with it. The other day I was using it here at the lot. You can see that drive shaft right there. I was using it here at the lot just to move a little dirt around, and first time I've ever even put dirt in it. It's funny, but I backed up to dump a load of dirt over across the street here where we're filling in a big hole, and I pulled put my PTO in gear and got ready to pick it up, and I give it just a little bit of gas to help raise the bed, and then the PTO shaft, the yoke, blew apart on it. So I got to get a whole nother shaft and everything for it. It bent the shaft real bad. And, that's how much dirt's left in here. I didn't even get to dump all of it. As soon as that blew apart, the bed started coming down by itself. This thing here's, I don't know. I might have to get another shaft for it, another yoke, everything. But after that, it should be all right. And then here's another project. This is 68 Impala 2-door. It's got a 307 in it, original motor. I'll show it to you. It's a 307, original to the car, 2-speed power glide. I know some of you are going to say, oh, that intake's the 80s model, 305 intake, or blah, blah, blah. But, yes, it is. This 4-barrel intake is off something in the 80s, a passenger car, pickup truck. We don't know, but we know it's 80s. You can see it's finned right here, and it's aluminum. It's aluminum quadrajet intake. Every 307 from the factory come out with a 2-barrel on it. There was no 4-barrel 307 unless somebody, got a car or a truck and, put a 4-barrel on it somewhere along the line. But every 307, Chevrolet 307, was 2-barrel. And I believe they're about 200 horse, something like that. But this thing been sitting for a while, and the wiring's all, it's all jacked up, put it that way. But I got it running yesterday. It had a cylinder stuck in it. I pulled all the plugs out and PB blasted put PB blaster down the spark plug hole. And I come back the next day, crawled up underneath of it, put a breaker bar on the flywheel, and it broke loose. And put all the plugs back in. I had to put a distributor in it. Distributor's burnt up. And I did that, dumped a little gas down the carburetor, and it fired right up. Might get a cold start on this sometime down the road, but not right now. That's about it for right now. I got another truck I'm redoing the whole interior in. It's at the other shop right now. But, there's 2 rollbacks. Had to adjust the clutch on this one this morning. Clutch was, it's just normal wear and tear. You need to adjust the clutch every once in a while on these big trucks. It's a good truck, good running truck. Got a 77 Ford I'm trying to put together. It's my personal truck. I'll get some video of it today or tomorrow sometime. But I guess that's all for now. See ya.